It's about to go down. Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Shawn, that's me. Jay Black, sick.
Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Shawn wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
What? Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever. Tight shirts in them.
All right, let's get started. Michael Shawn, I'm a solo artist. I think there's a chance I could be Bobby Brown when he left New Edition and take over the world. Yep. Unless Kamari jumps on here, which it looks like he could be jumping on here. Jay Black has the day off. He got things to do. That's it. I realized I was on here earlier. I looked, then I went, had to do some stuff and everything like that. I think if we didn't do the show, as long as I put the I put the link and put this up, I think you guys could literally talk to each other for like an hour and a half. I think so. I think our group chat, I think sometimes I'm thinking the only reason y'all get on here is so y'all can talk to each other. Because the group chat really be popping. All right, let me just start normal way. Good morning, everybody. Wants to investigate Oprah, Beyonce. Oh, yeah, Trendset, I saw that. So good morning. I hope everybody had a weekend. You know, our weekday starts on Tuesday. We rock from Tuesday to Friday because I'm with Jonesy in the morning on Mondays. 94.7 The Block, New York City. Shout to Jonesy, Ralph McDaniel. Shout to Freddie Riggs. It was a great show. Had a good time up there. And I hope everybody had a good weekend. Got a lot to get into. Shout to Stacey Mitchell Experience. We're about to make this comedy show pop in the coming months. I don't even know if Stacey's on yet, but when she gets on, I'll make sure I thank her for giving us another platform, another outlet to get on stage and do what we do. Oh, man. So much going on at one every day. There's 100 different stories, and you can't keep up. You just got to decide which one you want to pay attention to, because the majority of the stories we see, we can't do nothing about, like hands on, like right away. Trendsetter done sparked one of the stories on the group chat. Yeah, I'll put it up there real quick, and then I'll get to all the good mornings. I'll get to all the so Donald Trump wants to investigate Oprah, Beyonce for their contributions to Kamala Harris. What's wrong with this? Well, we know what's wrong with it, but be careful, because we're getting closer and closer to that Epstein thing. Which I'm telling you, the only reason this doesn't officially come out is because everybody goes down with it. That's why this Jeffrey Epstein thing doesn't come all the way out, because everybody goes down with it. Everybody. All the dominoes fall. And you never know. With the way society is now, some people might overlook that. But that's why the Jeffrey Epstein thing hasn't been officially just... It's there. It's sitting right there. All they got to do is, all right, these other people... Because you can't put a list out that everybody is on from both parties, from every religion, from every race, everybody goes down. That's why they don't want this Jeffrey Epstein list officially out. We've had all the leaked versions, but because they can discredit the leaked versions, everybody will just take them as conspiracy theory. Everybody will just take them as, oh, it's just TikTok, it's just Instagram. Let me tell you something. The same way people look at TikTok and Instagram is the way you should look at CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. Not everybody. Fox, the whole thing. CNN, majority of it. MSNBC, I like Rachel Meadows. But who knows? But back to the point. The Jeffrey Epstein list doesn't come out simply because everybody's affected. No one will be left unscathed. Everybody is getting it. Just like the church, anybody can get it. Everybody will catch it. That's why everybody's sitting tight with this Diddy thing. We've gotten so normal. We've normalized so much of this action that's gone with the Diddy thing. I'm gonna tell you a story about what happened at the comedy show, which it blew my mind what happened at the comedy show Saturday. But let's get to these good mornings first. Before I get, and if I'm solo, we got a strong hour. At best. Nikki White Chocolate, you was first up to bat. We know how you watch it, Nikki. We know. Nikki said, what's up to everybody? Nikki woke up. You must have had a good night's sleep. Nikki said, I'm saying what's up to everybody. Good morning, everybody. What up, Legs? Good morning. Ash, good morning. Good morning, Mama. Miss Parker, good morning, Miss Parker. Oh, Miss Parker. So Jonesy got the comedy show at Comedy in Harlem the third Thursday every month. I'm not going to be there the first one because I'm going to be in Dallas. But the third Thursday every month, we're going to be rocking. So if you want to go there when I'm not there, that's cool. I won't take it personal. No, I'm kidding. Coco, what up? What up, y'all? Chilly outside. What is it supposed to be popping for today? Let me see what the degree. We need a weather person on here to do the weather. Oh, it's only getting 68. Damn, tomorrow's only 56. Oh. Chilly. Oh, it's raining Wednesday. Oh. Man, it's raining all week. Starting tomorrow. It says here, 90% chance of rain. Wednesday, 95% chance of rain. Thursday, 65% chance of rain. It's gonna rain more. Oh, that's whack. Anyway, all right, let's get back. It don't take much to distract me. It don't take much. Miss Parker. She's saying, what's up to everybody? Good morning, everybody. Miss Clark with the thirst trap. Miss Clark was at the comedy show. She's so funny. Funny. I like Miss Clark. She's funny. LaShawn, good morning. She says, good morning to everyone. Happy to see y'all. Some of y'all see y'all present. LaShawn, thank you. LaShawn, thank you. We're getting to get. I'm thinking about the Brigada in Atlantic City. Listen, I don't know how y'all feel about Atlantic City, but I like the Brigada. I'm thinking that could be a field trip if I give y'all like 4 weeks in advance and we all meet up and we rock out and get rooms. That's why I gotta give y'all time. And maybe if we do a group thing, if somebody is skilled, maybe Miss Coleman is skilled, Tawana is skilled in arranging something like that and booking them for us. And we get ahead of time, and then we all meet out there and we stay. We just do. I don't know if we can do a whole weekend, y'all. I don't know if we'll like each other after a whole weekend. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. That could be our first field trip. All right, we can all walk around with Takeover Legend t-shirts on. Oh, that'd be the corniest. Oh, we'd be the corniest people on there. Bunch of 40-year-olds with Takeover Legend T. Oh, and some 30-year-olds. I know we got some 30. I wonder if K-Day would go. You think K-Day would go? I don't know if K-Day would go. K-Day, well, I don't know. She'd have to, I don't know. Trendsetter present. What up, Trend? Miss Clark, get everybody. Get everybody in here. Get everybody. I also got a lies detective. And we talked about this before, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I started thinking. I said, would I? I don't know if I would. That's what I was saying when I was watching it. Would I? I don't know. I don't know if I would. Diana, what up? Good morning. Hey. All right. The gave me the muscle thing. Is my shirt too tight? Do I have the tight shirt on? This is a shirt I grabbed. It's comfy. It's good material. I'm the type of person I need like soft material. I can't have material that touches my body that makes you feel any type of uncomfortable. I don't care what it looks like. I'd rather wear an ugly t-shirt or an ugly shirt than a fly ass, uncomfortable, making my skin feel funny shirt. I swear, I've done it. Let's get the show on the road. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think, to get this to the Brigada and make that happen. Boo, what up? Good morning. Good morning. Wait a second, Miss. You got. I think you're right about us chatting with. Yeah, I don't think y'all even need me. I think y'all could just chat on here. Y'all have Kirsten. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, the chat be. Y'all be in there. I started 5 minutes later because I was like, these motherfuckers really be just chit chatting. Chit chat. Yeah, Trent said pray for Joe Biden. That's not what Donald Trump and JD Vance. JD Vance literally was like, yeah, I mean, we wish him the best. I mean, but at a certain time, when are we gonna have the conversation? He's about to die. JD Vance was like, at a certain point, we're just gonna have the conversation, under the Biden administration. Bitch, it's over. You won. He's not thinking about that. He's thinking about living. These people are out, like, they do it now. I know it's just a ploy. That's all it is. Just keep saying the most outlandish, disrespectful, insensitive shit, just to just keep adding so that we can be distracted by we don't care what you think about Vice President. I don't understand why CNN had a whole segment on Trump and JD Vance's response to President Biden. I'm sorry. I know what you're doing. You're just trying to distract us from what's going on. So you throw shit like that because it'll take up space. You don't care that Joe Biden, just say that. 8 million stories in the naked city. Whoa, all right. Yes, Jen, prostate cancer. Yes, get your prostate checked. I got to get my doctor's appointment. I haven't had it checked in a while. And I haven't had a colonoscopy. That's what I got to do. Prayers, Stacey D. Good morning, y'all. Tawana, is your skill set in booking stuff? Do you have a skill set in being able to book a group trip to the Brigada? And would you come to the Brigada if we all got together and we got a group rate and we all just went out there on a Saturday and met out there and stayed till Sunday? I don't know. All right, Miss Parker. And I got to clear that vacation. I got so many vacation days coming up with work too on. I got to clear that day for your career day. And I know you are serious when you do something. I appreciate it. Kirsten says, what's up too? Yeah. LaShawn, I'll be the meteorologist. All right, Tawana, well, we'll send you the link and do the weather. Tawana said, I'll be it. Show rock. Tawana was supposed to be on TV anyway, so this ain't TV, but hey. Weather and events. All right. Trent said a tight shirt. Is this shirt tight? I really just grabbed this. This was laying right on top of my other shirts, and I said, whoop. And I brought my sweater down because it was a little chilly. Just in case I gotta switch it up. Because once I get behind this laptop, I'm stuck. Monty, what up? Good morning, Monty. That's my coworker. Yes, I know. I have to get it. I gotta get a doctor. I just got my health insurance back. Now I gotta go get a doctor. Make that happen every 10 hours. When was your last one? Oh man, it was a while ago. I mean, at least I got the process. No, I didn't get a. Wait, you said colonoscopy every 10 hours. What the fuck? What was it? Oh, 10 years. Oh, 10 years. No, I've never had a colonoscopy. Oh, Mike A said these appointments are important. Yes, I know. Thank you for your concern, Mike. I'm skilled at many things. Well, easy. All right. Okay. Shit. Tawana came straight with I'm skillful at many things. Then she said,
those would be facts on facts on facts on top of facts.
All right. Miss Parker said, what up to Monty? If Miss Parker, if you met one day, I don't know, maybe y'all meet Monty. Monty's a lot. In a good way, but he's a lot. Unless you had issues. No, I never had issues. I mean, I did have my prostate checked multiple times. Sunday, June 29th, South Jersey, house heads will be Doing it in the park, old school music. Bro, that's Sunday. Oh, June 29th. Damn, you gave us a heads up. I'm thinking, what am I doing this Sunday? Oh, some more days. Cheap views on streamboo.com. We appreciate the bot. How you doing? Trent said, should not notice your shirt, Mike. I didn't even know. Like, y'all noticing, it's such a comfortable shirt. But tight shirts. I mean, I wore it a bunch of times. This is my comfy shirt. I'd wear this every day. I'm coming with you, Miss Clark. Oh, she's going to the house June 29th. Stacy Mitchell, good morning. Thank you for Saturday. We're going to make that comedy spot pop for you, for us. Get the colonoscopy, only good butt poking. Oh, come on, Coke. Chill. Relax, chill. I mean, I know. Chill. June 29th, y'all got the spot. The best sleep, Mike. Yeah, I need that, but I'm gonna have to make that appointment and all that good stuff. Monty, ooh, okay. Stacy Mitchell, Renee, Miss Parker. Let me see if I got everybody. Please get your checkup, fellas. Prostate cancer is beatable. My own father has gone through it more than once. We just found he is in remission, 78 years old. God bless. Beautiful. We love to hear those stories of beating it. And we like that. Prayers go out to your pops. Which one? What story do I want to go to? All right, so let me get to Saturday. This is when I know the world's upside down. So I didn't really have Diddy jokes. I just wanted to talk about the Diddy thing. And I was just like, it's just crazy how we hear these stories and we hear the testimony. They're no longer stories. These are testimonies. These are people saying this stuff under oath, and we're hearing about all types of craziness. And there was more. Like the girl Dawn from the girl group, she went on there, and they was so disrespectful to her outside the courtroom. And you know, the stories go on and on and on. Oh, damn. Financial Rebel done popped in. Oh, he made it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here to save the day. His middle school friend. The man who witnessed Jay Black beating up somebody as they took off their hoodie or t-shirt and witnessed the dismantling.
I mean, that's not a lie. It's funny. I was like, damn, I wonder if I should ever bring this up before. But he brought it up. Jay Black was a little bit of a menace at a point.
I mean, but you know, I won't say it when Jay Black's here because I like to antagonize him. But that's why I like to have him. I like him as my friend because you know I always knew when we were in the middle of something that I always knew I could count on him. I mean, he proved his point.
He's not gonna run on you. I'll tell you
no,
that. He's not gonna run on you.
That was our oath. If we got to go down a black alley, a dark alley, and we have no choice, that we made that unwritten rule without even saying it to each other until we had to walk down those alleys, and we realized, I guess there's an unwritten rule. I guess we really gotta.
And then you're like, I don't want to go down this alley no more.
I really don't want to go down this alley. And he was like, we ain't got no. Yeah, he was like, we ain't got no choice. And I was like, well, damn. All right. Well, I guess I'm in. So I did this show. I did this show Saturday. Fine show. Stacy Mitchell put it together. We're gonna do another one in July. There's another one going on in June that I'm gonna go hang out at. And it was weird, Kamara. I wasn't really doing Diddy jokes. I was just, and I told them, I said, these aren't jokes. These are just things that are bizarre to me that we're hearing, that we seem to be cool. Not cool, but we seem to be so desensitized by it that it's just like, okay. And, we went, to highlight the urination in Cassie's mouth and that she asked for it and the text messages that she sent. And the debate goes, people are in these heated debates that she's not totally innocent. And people are like, you don't understand what it's like to be in an abusive relationship and to be groomed. And I didn't want to get into that. All I was saying was, this is some stuff that is shocking me. And I thought I was a freak. Like I said, all this trial has proved to me. And I said, all this trial has truly proved is that I've been lying on stage for like 15, 20 years because I truly thought with a badge of honor, I was a freak until I heard this testimony. Because if you're a freak, when you hear some sexual stuff, you are never just supposed to say ill. And I said ill multiple times. Like once you say ill,
I said triple cool a lot of times. And listen, ain't that a much freak that I could even compete with Diddy?
Yeah, I was like, when you say ill, once you say ill, your free card is revoked. Cause I was like ill. I was like, what? Like where? How do y'all
Could I be paid? Nor could I be paid to do some of the stuff that they did.
Now I get that. I've never been in a situation that broke where I had no options. I don't know if these people didn't have any options. Like it's never been either you do this for $4,000 or you have nowhere to live. I've never been there. But I'm right. I agree with you on the most part. But I thank God that I've never been in those desperate. And I don't know if these people were in desperate means. I don't know what I would do for $4,000 or $5,000 if the landlord said you got 8 more days before you get kicked out. I don't know.
I don't know if I could intentionally, and again, I've never been in a situation either, but I couldn't watch some woman putting my bodily fluids on another man's nipples. That's
a lot
to me.
Hey, that's
yeah,
a lot.
And that's and I'm hesitating because I don't want to say certain things, but yeah.
And honestly, if we stay to the health and the biological part of it, I don't know if I could perform. Even if there was a bunch of money, I don't even know if I would be able to. And I guess that's why all the drugs were involved and everything was involved, because anybody knows when nights like that happen, I have yet to meet too many. Well, I have yet to meet nobody personal tells me a wild story and was sober. But that's my circle. Maybe that's my circle. That's maybe more a critique on the circle that I used to roll with. Maybe that's what it is. All right. So
that's why, porn stars say to the guys who always say they want to get a porn star, well, can you go perform at a drop of a dime in front of a room full of people? That's a whole other thing.
No. Now I have been low key. I have been. It wasn't planned.
Are you a porn star?
No, I didn't know, but I didn't know that I was in the presence of a set that was being set up for something like for that. And I was like,
did you stay
for a little bit?
So why'd you leave?
Because then I realized there's pre-gaming that goes on.
Yes.
Like stretching, like athletes stretch and warm up. And I said, yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm good. I said, no, that's your thing. No, this is. Thank God. I was like, this is a place that I don't fit in, and this is the first time I'm happy I don't fit in because I don't fit in, and I mean literally, I don't fit in. I really don't.
You know that joke could go multiple ways.
Mm-hmm. So this is what took me out. I was on stage. And I was just saying, listen, these aren't jokes, but this is disturbing. And I'm doing the Cassie thing and I'm explaining to him. And there's a 40-year-old woman who says, I'm with Diddy. And I'm like, I laugh and I'm like, you what? I said, you what? She said, I'm with Diddy. And she's passionate. I'm supporting Diddy. And it's the first time on stage a heckler said something. And my response wasn't funny. My response was, why? Like, I don't mean law-wise. I don't mean if you tell me the reason why you're saying, if you say, I want to hear why this is a RICO charge. I want to hear proof why this is sex trafficking. I want to hear proof that this has nothing to do with what we consider abnormal sexual behavior. I want to know, is this blackmail? If you're saying, I want to see the proof that he was blackmailing these people, they didn't know, and all that good stuff. She said, I'm just riding out with him. I love Diddy. And I was so taken aback because I realized everything I've been saying for all these years. I'm like, we are obsessed and we really worship celebrity.
Yes, we do.
Like it is. Yeah, it is.
It's weird.
It's weird and dysfunctional on a level that I'm like, we really believe that these people are Marvel heroes. And no matter what, I couldn't, it just, and I just looked and I was like, I wanted to really go all the way in, but I'm like, I have such an advantage on the stage. I don't want to turn this comedy show into me just morally, because I ain't got no right to judge you morally. But listen, them proving guilt or innocence has nothing to do with me. All I can do is say whatever they prove, these high power lawyers prove or don't prove. But I will say this, from a distance, I don't want me or anybody I know near him.
Listen, not only that, I wouldn't even want my daughters to hear, if I was indulging in that, I wouldn't want my daughters nor my mama to hear what I was doing. I think it's weird that his kids are in the courtroom.
And the stories that include his mom get weirder.
Yeah. But again, it's all hearsay, so I don't know.
No, but the problem is now they don't have video, but now when the testimonies are coming out, now you could say if they're lying, it's perjury now. If it's proven they're lying, it's perjury. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. If they're proving you're lying, it's perjury. It was just a disturbing. And even when after I got on stage, I said, hey, I like to thank people who are good sports when I talk to, especially when I'm hosted. Normally when I do a set, I really don't mess with the crowd at all. But because I was hosted, I was talking to the crowd, and I like going to everybody. And there weren't a lot of people there, so I could go to the majority of people I talk to. But even when it's packed, I go to people and I say, thank you for being a good sport. Like, thank you for understanding. And I always make a point of saying that to people. Especially this one couple who happened to be, they were really super cool. They were older. All the comedians had something to say about them. But I was like, back to the point, I was like, yo, this brainwash happens in so many different ways in our life. Like they brainwash us with society. They brainwash us with celebrity. They brainwash us with everything is a mental programming.
Yes, everything. I mean, sometimes you have to ask yourself, are these my thoughts?
Yeah. Yes.
Do I really believe this? Do I really think this? Or is this a commercial? Because everything's a commercial rollout or something.
And you're so right, because I always say I have to make sure I do this thing, right? I do a semi type of meditation once I wake up. I remind myself to do it. Then when I go in the mirror, I have a quick conversation with myself, and I tell people I have the conversation with myself because I truly believe this might be the only honest conversation I'm going to have for the whole day. But it's up to me for it to be honest. But you got to figure out what it's like when you're by yourself. You're like, okay, is this really true? Like, am I really upset over this or over that? But it's a whole mindset. I go like, though, this is crazy. The programming that starts from the minute you come out the womb. Like, it isn't amazing. All right. So
there's a weird stat. Just real quick, there's a weird stat. In like 1973, there were 500 ads shown to the average person daily. Just a couple of years ago, that changed, and we talked about this before. Matter of fact,
yeah.
It's now like 5,000. That was a couple of years ago. So can you just imagine all of that being bombarded into your mind, into your eyeballs daily? It's crazy.
It floods you. Like I realize this social media is taking it to another level because it's so fast of the emotions that you go through scrolling. Like I did it.
Natural. It's not natural.
Like I did a video recording of me just scrolling and going. Oh, I'm going to play it here one day of the different emotions that you go through in a matter of 10 seconds. You could be mad, you could be happy, you could be sad, you could be horny, you could be mad, you could be hungry, you could be depressed about your life. You could be inspired. You all this stuff, and your brain is this amazing thing that can just trigger in seconds, even faster than seconds. And you go like, and I'm like, this ain't healthy.
And it's all to chase that beautiful drug called dopamine.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but okay.
All right, I'm gonna get to a lies detective. We'll start with no. I was gonna tell y'all about Chris Brown. And I'm gonna tell you about Chris Brown, but then I realized I found somebody who basically wrapped up the whole Chris Brown situation so much more entertaining than I would ever. And I got to give it up. And I'll let this young lady just give y'all the whole Chris Brown story, and then we can talk about it. It's coming.
So Chris Brown,
What was the reason?
let me understand. In 2023, you beat the taste out of somebody. The whole thing was caught on CCTV. You smashed a bottle over the producer's head. You smacked him, you kicked him, his knee collapsed. He had to go to the hospital. And somehow you left London. You got on the plane. You went home.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it off.
You had your freedom. You were in America doing as many backflips and acrobatics as your heart desired.
And that's what makes it look like hip hop.
And then you decided to go back to London, where you have open warrants. And then you got arrested at your hotel. And then they denied you bond. So now you're sitting in custody until June. And the prosecutor is going to argue that you're a flight risk because you're an American with access to resources in a foreign country. How did this happen? No bond, no freedom, no concert starting. And right before that, days before that, you posted free Tory. You should have been worried about your own freedom. And this is exactly why it makes no sense. It's getting on my nerves. And every single week you wonder why your ass don't dance.
Don't dance!
How did this happen? Your team was supposed to handle this, but based on what happened, you were surprised by the arrest like there were no issues in London.
So that was a fucking lie.
Next case.
I am baffled by this because
Wait a minute. Her delivery or the chain of events?
oh no, the delivery is
Her delivery was flawless.
It was perfect. You should be a lead anchor on Entertainment Tonight or TMZ. That's brilliant work right there, sweetie. Whoever you are, that's brilliant work. How in God's green earth? And somebody made a point, and I'm gonna give the counterpoint that Jonesy made. How do you go back to London when they are cities that I know? I really don't have any warrant. I know I don't. I know I shouldn't. I just don't go back because I think, well, maybe they could. Like, there's cities that I'm like, I'm never going back to because I know I got stopped, but nobody gave me a ticket. But I don't even know if I got it. I don't even know. He went back to a place where they had the footage of him beating this dude up with a vodka bottle. I forget the name of the vodka.
Hopefully it wasn't Ciroc.
No, it wasn't Ciroc. It was one of the expensive, big, chunky bottles. I forget what it was. Not that any one isn't chunky, but they're chunkier ones. They're thicker ones. How does his team set up a tour to take him back to London? His lawyers have to know this.
Or they don't.
But how? How does nobody? This to me sounds like the ultimate setup.
Or he might just be that dumb.
I understand you could say being dumb, but even first of all, I think Chris Brown is far from dumb. When you've gone through been in enough courtrooms, you start to gather information of what I don't know how to fix that, but I know I don't want to get involved in that. And I know in the back of his mind, I don't care how many drugs you did. You remember the story about London.
Let's rewind that. You said something. He's been in a number of courtrooms. Why does he keep being called off to said courtrooms, Mike? Because he keeps violating the damn law. So,
but this is my thing. It would be one thing, stupidity of violating. It's another thing when you like, I'm not going back there. These people don't invest that much money. These companies, whatever concert tour company is doing this, does not invest the amount of money that they invest in. And not know we're not making a stop there because we got 20 more after that we can't refund and we can't. They're still selling tickets. These cats are still selling tickets for upcoming shows. Up till a few days ago, they were still selling tickets. Those higher ups, them folks ain't stupid. Everybody wasn't dumb enough to go like, yeah, we'll just stop them off in London. Then this is where if Jay Black was here, would say it's a conspiracy theory. Word has it.
Album release.
Word has it. This happens the day after he posts free Tory Lanez.
Oh God.
Then it comes out that he offered Tory Lanez his lawyers as assistants. I'm just saying.
What are you saying, Mike?
I'm just saying after
out.
after the star witness comes out and says, look, I'm about to tell the truth. I'm not under any NDA. I'm about to tell the truth. Then Tory gets stabbed the next day 15 times. That you could say whatever you want about coincidence. That ain't no coincidence. We can try and fight that all day long.
Well, I'm not as up on the Tory Lane situation as you are. From what I saw, what they were talking about was all hearsay.
No, this guy. They've had press conferences. Lawyers have come out. They're fighting for a new trial. There's a whole 370,000 petition going to the Governor Newsom that you need to let this man go because there was no DNA, not once, not twice, but 3 times. There was no DNA of Tory Lanez found on the gun.
Okay, and so why didn't Tory just tell a real account of what happened if the girlfriend actually did it?
Wow, you would think we did show prep. The way you led into that, man, let me tell you, boy, Jason.
I don't know if I've ever admitted this. I actually love radio, Mike.
All right, well, Jason Lee, podcaster, big time podcaster, went back and forth, has text messages from Tory Lanez from prison explaining what you just asked, which is great.
Days, but I know I'll be home this year. I said, how long you been gone? I'm so confused by your case. He said, actually, I have a crazy plan when I get back that I think you should know and be a part of because I'm only going to do 1 interview. And he said he's been gone 2.5 years. I said, I want to be a part of that plan. He said, it's honestly a bunch of suppressed evidence that was kept away from me during trial. I said, Wack told me that, but didn't say what. He said, like, through trial, they keep saying it was inconclusive on the gun DNA, but I always knew I never touched the gun, so I asked my lawyer to retest it, and sure enough, I was 102% excluded completely from everything, just like I said. I said, well, why didn't you just say who did it? Fuck doing time for something you ain't do. He said, I took the rap for Kelsey, never wanted her to go to jail, and I never wanted Megan to get hurt or anything. So in me stopping her from getting shot, I got the raw deal. Crazy how life works. And to think they made me the poster boy for the unprotection of black women, when in all honesty, I protected 2 black women, 1 from getting shot and 1 from going to jail. Never said nothing in 8 to 10 years for them to live. It's a crazy, crazy place we live in. I said, but why you ain't just say that? Nigga, when I got shot, I told. And he said, I lost my mother at 11 years old. I couldn't sleep with myself. I was the reason for taking a mother away from her kid. I just couldn't do it. Tory Lanez.
He's better than me.
But I can't say.
Big dummy. You dummy. Sorry.
Now, we could say big dummy. I mean, and that would be everybody's first thing, but if he was the reason why they were arguing, if he was the reason why the confrontation started, if it was his wrongdoing of knocking them both down, and that's why the intensity started. Now listen, I'm telling. But this is the thing.
Both hands up.
If this man is telling the truth that he was like, listen, it was my fault that these 2 were arguing. I didn't want these 2 women to go to jail. And he's really standing up and saying, I'm trying to protect them. I don't know when we can't just call somebody a dummy and not say that's an honorable thing to do. I think it's a dumb thing to do. But he took the heat for 2 women and then was told that he was the person that was putting them in danger and all that he's the unprotection of women. Listen, I don't know. All I know is that when you have a witness that's going to tell everybody who really shot the gun, the problem with this is why little Kim went to jail for perjury. And when his dad, go ahead.
This isn't honorable. I just Googled it real quick, Mike. Tory Lanez has a son, at least 1. So he abandoned his son for these, again, celebrity.
Don't use the word abandon. Don't use the word abandon. Don't use the word abandon when they railroad him in jail. Don't use the word abandon when they railroad him. When
you have to use the word abandon because he did this intentionally, Mike. knowing the consequences.
He tried to prove he didn't do it, and the court system decided that they were going to make sure he did, and that's where the story gets deeper, because that's when his dad comes out and says Rock Nation had something to do with this.
Okay, so we're playing this conspiracy theory angle when this man knows the truth the whole time and didn't share the truth. You have to be accountable for your actions. He didn't take action.
And sometimes being accountable for the actions was the action that I shouldn't have slept with both of them.
Or I'm going to open my mouth and tell the truth and say, fuck that. She did it. I don't care how good the lay was. I didn't shoot the gun.
Okay, well, this is what we're not. This is where we're going to be balanced. The two women took part in this too, and we're not going to keep harping on Tory Lanez where the two women sat there and one had immunity. That was Kelsey who had the immunity. Everybody knows what that means. That means whatever I say, you can't put me in jail. And Megan then went on a whole tour talking about he shot me.
I hear you, Mike. And I'm not trying to say that they don't have responsibility or any part in this. However,
They lied.
Mike, I would find it hard to believe you, as outspoken as you are, would be able to sit somewhere and be quiet where they're lying on you and there is testimony. And did he even take the stand?
I don't know if he took the stand, but
I find it hard to believe that you'd be able to sit there and say, no, I didn't do nothing. Fuck that. Excuse my language. I would be telling in court, in front of cameras, in front of everybody. I'm going to shape the narrative.
And I get that, but we weren't in the courtroom. We don't know who was pushing the buttons. He could have been led to believe we can get you off for this. You don't have to tell nobody. You don't have to tell nobody. He actually made a phone call to somebody who said, yeah, I'm gonna call you when I get out. And that person said he never got out. He said, I think this is, he made the alleged phone call and said, yeah, I'll call you when I get out of here because I got some things I want to do after this. And he was like, he thought he was going to get off because he's like, my DNA is not on the gun. If the DNA is not on the gun, how could I have shot anybody?
How long was that trial?
I forget if I honestly, I'd be lying if I told you exactly. It felt like a few months.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I tell everybody, don't do crime around me. Because I ain't doing crime. I'm not abandoning my children.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with you. And whatever decisions he made, but if he didn't do it, this is where everything gets all crazy. If he didn't do it, and the parties, and he was trying to prove he didn't do it, and all the other parties, no one ever came out and said, no, he didn't do it.
And
y'all all go. Y'all all
big
going.
Old age, as the young folks say, if I didn't do it, that makes me want to scream louder that I didn't do it. I'm just.
And I totally understand that. What I'm trying to say is I'm not going to forget everybody else who, when a man was just trying to prove I'm not the one who did this, and y'all said he was, the people who said he did, that raft of repercussions is coming. And hey, that Rock Nation can't save you on this one. And if
clearly they didn't, I'm sure they got people in the prison, but they didn't reach out. They didn't make the payments.
Well, they made the payments. That's why he got stabbed 15 times.
Or they did make the payments to make sure he was protected.
Well, obviously that protection didn't work. But I mean, and when somebody, and let's be clear, y'all, this is common sense about digging through lies. When somebody doesn't come out and say, I didn't do it, it's because there's a reason why he didn't say this person did it. And I'm going to go back on something. When I say it could be the honorable thing, it could be the thing that he knew if he did, his life may not have been worth much when he left out of there. Or people that he loved. This ain't conspiracy, people. This happens all the time. Where people are in between a rock and a hard space. And if you got family, You realize if I come out and say this, even though it may be the truth, some other people who had nothing to do with this are going to pay for this. Let me get to these comments real quick.
Why you doing that, Mike? Real quick. Trendsetter sent me a text, asked me what's on my shirt. I'm looking at this shirt. This is horrible. But this says income goals, and it's just a listing of all income, salary, dividends, royalties, things like that.
I should say, Game Queen, I think it's because it became that's what he's been happening. They have been allowed to get away with murder in some cases nowadays. CB don't have the right, Chris Brown don't have the right people around him. I think he's done. Makes no sense. I think you're talking about Breezy. These are the Breezy comments. I'm gonna try to keep up on everything, y'all. Tory Lanez, that shit is crazy. Random Rick sounds like a sucker. While it was noble, it was extreme act of crisis management. Ain't no way, Demore. I'm telling, hey, I'm not disagreeing. I'm telling on both of them chicks, even if I did it. Well, Random Rick, this is why, Random. Maybe Megan really didn't know who shot her. Isn't that what she shared in the net? She shared 3 different stories that there are videos of. This is another thing, y'all. If you want to tell a story, you better rehearse that story like you about to perform at a Broadway musical and you're about to open with Denzel. They better not be a detail that changes. Not to mention an entire story changing. And this girl got 3 different stories that are going around. He should have had more concern for his own son. Oh, okay. He probably thought I'm going to be in a cushy place for a little bit.
Not for a gunshot, not for a shooting. No, that's white collar crime.
Shot you. Maybe the whole story and didn't think it was going to take off the way it did. Facts. You may not make it out of court if you're messing with the right folks. So many holes and lies and making stories. Yeah, there's a gang of them. This man, let me tell you something. Y'all think I'm joking when I tell you. I'm so glad.
Who shot your plane in my head right now? Thanks for that, Billy.
I'm so glad God made it and protected me, and I didn't make it the way in that stardom. Because I know I'd have been. It would have been a mess.
Would have been a problem, Mike?
No, it would have been my dumb ass. It would have been nothing but. Y'all wouldn't like my name would have been mud because there's no. I would have been walking into so many obvious traps that I didn't know were traps because they was just partying women and alcohol and all that. I would have been yeah. Just think about the night how it started. They're going to Kylie Jenner's party. Just think about the adrenaline that they must have had. Like, yo, we gonna go to this dope ass party. I'm Tory Lanez. I'm popping. You're Megan Thee Stallion. You're popping. I don't know how the fuck. I don't know, Kelsey. You're here. She's probably excited. We're gonna go drink as much as possible and hang out with this young billionaire at this party. And next thing you know, this happens. And that's just life. Life don't give a damn. Life don't care. Because life just says, hey, life just says all the chips will fall the way hey, dominoes just go. Shit, man. I thank God. I really do. And God knows. Thank you. Thank you for getting my ass out of LA. Thank you. And I mean that with all sincerity. Like all
would be facts on facts on facts on top of facts.
It would have been a mess. I said, yes, my God's grace. So many pitfalls in these streets. And I've been through pitfalls, and I wasn't even a percentage. 1%. I wasn't even 0.1% of the fame and the rooms that these people were moving in. And I thank God. I watched that Diddy shit. I thank God. I was close to getting a record deal. That was crazy that people just don't believe. Like, I was close. The record label went under. And it just happened to be the record label for my favorite rapper of all time.
Who's that?
KRS-One. Edutainment. I took the demo to their offices. And they loved it. And then some tax thing. I don't know the exact story. Because you never do. You never know the exact story. I'll give you a fun one. I'll make a hard left, no pause. This is Bernie Sanders 21 years ago. I think you'd be interested in this, Kamar. This is 21 years ago, Bernie Sanders, a young, spry Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders 21 years ago explaining how the Republicans win, even though no one likes their actual policies.
If you are the Republican leadership, and this is what your goals are to give huge tax breaks to the very richest people in this country. Your goals are ultimately to privatize Social Security so that Wall Street can make money from that. Privatize Medicare so the insurance companies can make more money. Privatize education. Do away with public schools. Now, if you had an agenda like that and you went before the American people, tax breaks for the rich, destruction of Medicare, destruction of Social Security as we know it, lowering the minimum wage or abolishing it, how many votes do you think you'd get? Not a whole lot. Maybe the richest 1% would vote for you. But that's not a lot of votes. So what do? Got a problem. You package it. How do you package it? And here I want you to pay attention to me. This is bad stuff. What you do is divide people up. You divide people up by races. Affirmative action becomes one issue. All them black people are getting the jobs that we white people used to have. Split people, working class, white against black. Instead of working together to create decent jobs for all. Those uppity women now, they want the right to choose. We'll split people on the abortion issue. We'll split people up on the gun issue. We'll split people up on religious issues. You follow what I'm saying? So you split people up, and then they end up, if you're a middle-class person, voting against your own interests, and the rich go laughing all the way to the bank.
That was 21 years ago.
Yeah, by the way, today is election day, folks. Please go vote. There's an election every 6 months. You should vote in all of them. They all impact your lives some way, shape, or form.
What are we voting for in Jersey right now? What's going on? I gotta find out what's going on in
governor's
Jersey.
Race? Don't you have a governor?
Well, we have a governor's race, but we're not voting yet for that, right? That's not till...
I believe you are. I believe Ras Baraka is running for governor.
Yeah, it's Ras Baraka, filler. But that election is until when?
No, the general, but today is the primary.
Oh, that's right. It's today is the primary. Wow.
Yeah, so the primary determine who wins from each party. Okay, June for New Jersey, Ms. Clark says.
All right, June for New Jersey.
So,
okay.
And I'm in Pennsylvania, so today is our primary election. But this is a good reminder for everybody in Jersey. Vote, what is it, June 10th. Vote June 10th.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, we're going to be responsible with that. Let me get some of these comments. No, that was.
But back to Bernie's comments. Yeah. I mean, he's spot on. But pause to say this, but race, the concept of race is a made-up construct, right? And it was a construct that was created by the rich people to further separate folks. And what did they do when they saw poor white people and black people getting together? They created more issues and more ways to divide. And they've always known that's the way to do it. King talked about it a lot. Bernie's talking about it now. Nothing's new under the sun. They've been playing this divide and conquer game for centuries.
And I hate to interrupt, but let me just flex real quick. Tawana Coleman, Mike, you were a great rapper back in the day. Thank you. Had nothing to do with that. Thank you.
I saw that. Hold on. Mike, I need to hear something. I always knew you as a comedian. I didn't know you were a rapper. You got
I don't even remember. Cam has.
I saw the tight shirt, John.
Yeah, everybody keeps going, this is my comfy shirt. This is the most comfy shirt ever.
No, but I'm talking about the skit you did, the tight where you're rapping.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember any. Cam has all the material. Cam has it somewhere. He's got all the DAT tapes. He's got all the, I was always the person. Somebody sent me a few of the joints that I played when I was on the radio in Philly. And I got them somewhere. Miss Jersey, who can really rap. Like Miss Jersey, Ryan Banks, shout out to Ryan Banks, Miss Jersey, shout out to Fearless. They were killing it. But yeah, it when I saw it, I said, damn, 21 years ago, Bernie was talking this. And it's just been something. Tawana says the governor raised June 10th. Ms. Clark, yeah, June. Asha dropped off my ballot. Dropped off the ballot yesterday. Okay, Asha, shout to you. Dropping off ballots. That's what I'm
Early.
talking about. Spot on with Bernie. Bernie, listen. Bernie is the one regret, even though, and I hate to say what I'm about to say. I hate to say what I'm about to say. But it was true. I forget what Democratic primary. Was it the one with Hillary when Hillary ran?
Yeah, she went to bed.
I wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders. I remember having a discussion, and the person next to me was like, I want to vote for Bernie Sanders too. And we both were like, but are we going to waste the vote because he's not going to win? But I'm thinking to myself, how many people were thinking the same thing? Everything he said, I was like, listen, no politician is perfect. Every politician is going to have to compromise. There's going to be the way the system is built, the way they package, like he said, they package these laws, and the way to make it that people have to vote for things because in order to get this, they also have to vote for that, which is ridiculous. They shouldn't be allowed to package laws like that. There shouldn't be a damn here. You either vote for the number 2, the value meal number 2, or value meal number 3, and the number 3 doesn't include fries. Like, it's ridiculous. But I always wanted to vote for him, and I didn't. I went along with the sheep. I was one of them, and said it's Hillary's turn. It had nothing. Listen, I knew all about the white water. Not all about it, but I knew about the white water. I knew about the shit that was going on with her and the Clintons and everything. And I was like, well, I guess it's her turn. I actually voted like it was a sporting event. They've been to the NFC Championship 5 times. And I didn't, and I went along with it. Mike has cried, rocking, and taught me. Oh, Mike has tried rocking and taught me how to beatbox. Wow. Tawana to Afro Queen says, yes, the masses let me down not voting for. I was one of them.
I mean, the masses let us down not voting for Kamala. I mean, it happens all the time.
But technically, if you ask me who I was more passionate for as a can't forget the circumstances, because the circumstances were different. But I believe if Bernie would have won, we wouldn't be in this circumstance. I can't prove that.
If Hillary would have won, if Bernie would have won, if Kamala would have won, none of these things we would be dealing with right now. So I agree with you on that, Mike. I agree with you on that. But I also think all these elections are low-key high school popularity contests. Nobody will admit that, but that's what they are. And Hillary was more popular at the time, and there was some other, the FBI thing would kind of ruined it for her, but she also did not campaign as hard as she should. And they were telling her that. She didn't go into a lot of the hard places. She played it safe because she thought she had it in the bag.
They all did. They all did. Obama
there were some people that kind of warned her not to do it the way she did it, but she did it anyway.
But the crazy thing, it was so in our face. When Obama Obama came out the clear blue sky. I'll never forget. During that convention, that Democratic convention, it was like they dropped a new artist. I swear, I related to this when labels would come with an artist that at the time I didn't know, but now I know that they'd already paid for. They'd already given the money to the radio stations. They'd already told the country, this is the next one to pop. He came out the clear blue sky. This black man named Obama Hussein. What is Obama Hussein Barack, or is Obama Hussein? Is Hussein his middle name?
Yes.
First of all, the name alone, I wouldn't have thought could have ever won. Like if you'd have told me,
so it's Barack Hussein Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama. I apologize. The name alone shouldn't have won. But out of the clear blue sky, this man dropped. I understand y'all gonna tell me he was a senator. Yes, but I'm talking for the masses who were not in those cities. This man popped up and dropped that speech, and it went from there. And they basically looked at Hillary like, you're going to have to step aside. Yeah, you're going to run in this primary, but you ain't winning. And he got the 2 terms, and it was almost like the Democratic Party said, okay, since you followed the rules, you're going to be the one now. And I went right along with it. Like, I was just a robot. I was like, yeah, it's Hillary's turn. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it. I get that. And I went right along with it, knowing that is not the person I wanted to vote for. Every debate, I was like, wow, Bernie again. He's right. I have never said a person is right so many times and then not voted for him in my life. I said he's right more times. The only person that I ever may have said was right more was maybe Barack. Clinton was excellent at and look, Clinton was as shady as they come, but I still think he was a good president. I mean, he balanced the budget. How he did it, I don't know the details. I don't know if you know the details how he wound up the balance of budget, but the balance of budget, that's never going to happen again. We're never going to see that again.
We're not, probably not for a long time.
But I went right along. I was the problem.
Yeah, but so I'm looking up the Hillary versus Bernie count. So she won that primary. She got 55% of the votes. Bernie got 43. Part of the problem with Bernie is he doesn't appeal to everybody. And he's an old white guy who doesn't necessarily appeal to the masses. Again, first thing I said, these things are popularity contests. You have to be able to get enough people to really like you.
But how many people, and I'm just thinking for myself, he did appeal to me.
I got you.
He literally did everything he was supposed to do, and I did the opposite. I said, you're right. You have a point. There should be free health care. Who doesn't vote for a person who wants universal? Who doesn't vote for that person?
But, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to defend you here, Mike. But the one thing that you left out that you admitted to, you and the other guy, and I don't know who, when 2 guys talk to each other in the booth, but that's a whole other story. You didn't think he could win. You were not wrong. And you thought it would have been a wasted vote. It would have been a wasted vote.
But this is the propaganda that they tell you.
But that's part of the thing.
But that's my thing. It's not real.
It is real because it wasn't like it was a close race. That's what I'm saying. It's not like it was a percentage point or two. It was 55 versus 43.
But even with those numbers, how many people were like, you're right, but I believe because I've been told.
Again, going back to what did I just say? Are our thoughts even? I got you, Mike. I got you. But when we're going through all these different machinations, trying to figure out who to vote for, you have to weigh that in.
LaShawn said Bernie was too old when he ran. LaShawn, do you understand the people who ran after him were older? This is the propaganda that I'm telling you. You got it. Do you understand that the man running for re-election was older? The man running again was older. The man who ran the first time was older. And this is what they told us. And we believe it. I believed it. I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, Ronald Reagan, I swear Ronald Reagan feels like he had 5 terms.
I mean, but here's the thing, right? We vote based on likability versus policies. That's the thing you know to talk about. Bernie policy's been better than all these people. All of them. But for some, they're too radical. And the population isn't educated enough to really see this.
And the word radical, the way they hijack words.
Correct.
They hijack the word radical to be in a negative. If I am totally against something, I am radical. If I have no room for compromise, I am radical. Every action that has happened in this country. Listen, the way this country was formed, they were radicals.
Absolutely.
But it was just, man, that's why they were trying to count Biden out. I get it. And there are any upcoming people we should look out for. Any Obamas out there? Man, listen,
yes, there is.
I don't know. They need a fantasy league. You know when people would pay more attention? People in this country would pay more attention to politics if they had a fantasy league that you could bet on. Because then people would really start getting deep in it. They'd be 50 million sports fans that would be so in depth and know policies that they tried to push 7 years ago. They would know they would know everything. If you started a fantasy league, a political fantasy league, where you have a draft, where you get to draft who your political quarterback is and who your political running back is and your political wide receiver is and your political defense and your political special teams, I'm telling you, we would research the hell out of this.
Well, they do kind of have something like that. It's not legal in the U.S. It is called Polymart. It was definitely in play during the last election, but it's not. You can't vote. You can't participate in the States.
But my thing is, you got to use fantasy. You got to pay them for the copyrights to use fantasy politics, because and it's got to be a Vegas line. They got to be lines. They got to be leagues all over they got to be political leagues. Like right now for the midterms and for the governorships and all that other stuff, they should be fantasy leagues. And I'm telling you, people will have 7 laptops, 2 iPads, a cell phone, and doing nothing but researching their political history, who they've had dealings with, who have they folded on, what they did in like 2010. They'll have everything. I gotta write that down. Hold on. You want people to political fantasy league. That's funny. Yeah. All right, fantasy. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I can't let this go. I gotta write this down. Sorry about that. Right, Mike? More entertaining. For us to think that a system of power can be undone by voting is hilarious. At least the church leaves it up to fiction. No, you ain't never lied. But Zeray, I'm telling you,
politics is like fiction too, though. But
it is fiction. You gotta believe in something. This is why they can wipe out. This is why they like, if we wipe out the history, they'll forget. It's just amazing. It's crazy. But my point was, if you make it a fantasy league, I'm telling you, we'll know everything about these politicians. At least we'll have a more educated vote. Even if you believe the system will never change, which, hey, I've been saying this for years. The powers that be want it a certain way. You can fight to get a certain. The only way to destroy a system is to destroy a system and start from the beginning. And none of us want to do that. That's the only way you destroy a system. You can't make adjustments. You can't make tweaks. You can't tweak this. It's an evil, devilish system that is based on oppression and is based on the 1% of elites to make all the money and control everything. It's amazing. One guy said this on Instagram. He said on TikTok. He said, y'all worried about 100 men, or was it 100 men or 1,000 men beating a gorilla? Was it 100 or 1,000?
100.
100. He said, I'm worried about 340. Can 340 million people defeat 10 billionaires?
No.
I said, well, damn. Have a great day, Jen. Same to you, too. Fantasy politics is so... I'm telling you, put them lines up there, have them fantasy leagues, have people having team names and all that stuff, have draft day. You want to know about politicians? Let them have a draft and see how fast these dudes find out, including myself, find out their percentages on how many times they voted against something or voted for something. Like Jay Black was a no call, no show. No, Jay Black told me yesterday he was going to be able to make it. You got
Mike, can you go to Ray's when he said voting is like religion, works if you believe?
Let me see. Voting is like religion, works if you believe.
So it's funny. Ray is my guy. We grew up together. and we totally disagree on everything, especially this one. Voting is like religion, works if you believe it. Well, that's everything in life. Marriage only works if you believe in it, right? Because if you start doing things that doesn't work for your marriage, it won't work. If you do things that work for your marriage, normally it will work. Politics is no different. We always try to make voting and politics out to be the boogeyman. It is not. People just don't want to work. Most people are lazy. And so, if you look at, all you got to do, I think Philadelphia is a common thing. But if you just look at the areas that vote the most, they tend to get the most thing. Voting in politics is about money, period. If more people understood voting in politics was about money and whether or not you're going to get said money for you, your district, your community, more people will be involved. But they don't want to do that because it takes too much work. That's all I got.
All right, wait a second. I'm trying to look at these comments. I'm trying to get comments. I can't get these sound effects popping correctly today because I had too many responsibilities. Because Jay Black said, "Fuck y'all." No, I'm playing. He did. There you go. After all that is said and done, it's time for another edition of one of our favorite segments here at Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends, No Lies Detected.
It's time for action. Yeah. Thanks you for joining the Takeover Legends. It's time for No Lies Detected.
Right here.
And we were really close, and my husband didn't feel comfortable with that person. Am I going to fight till the death and ruin my marriage to protect this person that I'm not married to?
Wow, that's good.
Or am I going to say, look, times have changed, people evolve, love you, friend, but at the end of the day, I'm married now, my husband feels uncomfortable. I don't necessarily agree, but I respect him enough to, if I have to choose between you or my marriage and my husband, clearly I'm choosing my marriage and my husband. And if you don't feel comfortable choosing your marriage and your spouse, therein lies the problem.
There is, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so getting to the bottom of that, like, what is it about that you don't feel comfortable? Because at the end of the day, if you were going to choose that person, you should have married that person. Why are you not in that relationship? If that's your best friend, aren't you supposed to marry your best friend?
Wow.
If I had a friend.
All right, I don't know. We need to play it again. Listen. Age old dilemma that goes on in relationships. And there's always the man that people perceive as the person who doesn't want you hanging out with her. It's always one of the oldest jokes. Like, you don't want your girl going out with her whole friends because every woman has some whole friends, which is just a generalization. But, a lot of comedians have made it funny. And it's a good topic. I mean, it is because you got to ask yourself, if your girl has a bunch of whole friends, why'd you get with her to begin with? Like, what?
Birds of a feather flock together.
Like, if all my friends are drug dealers, you can't get mad. Like, I may not have sold the drugs, but I did some of the drugs. Like, I mean, if they're all.
What's that Chris Brown song? These what ain't loyal.
But I think it goes on both sides. I think there are people in relationships who have been given an ultimatum. I'm not comfortable with that friend. Now, I think some of this should be discussed before you get married. Like, I think that if you're under the illusion that once you get married, you're going to take up so much space and time and your presence is going to be so valuable that they're not going to have any time for any friends. I mean, if that's what you believe, hey, sometimes it works.
But there's a bunch of people who get married who don't have these hard conversations. They just like each other. They like humping on each other. It's fun. But they don't talk about the real stuff.
So number one, any lies detected. You know the rules. If there are lies detected, explain what lies were detected. If there are no lies detected, just say no lies detected. Kamari, have you directly been in a situation where your wife made it very clear that friend that you consider a good friend is no longer somebody I am comfortable with you hanging out with?
No.
So you've never been in that dilemma?
Well, because I carry myself in a certain way. And that's not to say that I'm perfect. I'm not. But I'm committed to being married, so I'm not going to be around certain things and do certain things if I know certain things are happening.
But if she's that, what if you're not partaking in these things, but one of your close homies really does, and is very open with how he takes part in them? Like it's no secret. Like he's gonna talk about it. He's gonna let you know. He's at the strip club during the afternoon. He knows the strippers' real names. He is a connoisseur. He's got their phone numbers. He knows how many kids they have. He knows all that. But this is your good homie, and you're like, I don't go to the strip club with dude. I that's not what I do. But you know, we do go play ball. Like we go to the courts. You know what I'm saying? We go to the LA Fitness. We go to the Sixer games. You know what I mean? We went to Mike's comedy show. We you know what I'm saying? Like,
listen, I'll say this. I will say this. You brought up drug dealer earlier. I've had drug dealer friends. I didn't go to certain places with drug dealer friends. I don't judge them. I still love them. What they're doing is what they're doing, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing.
let me get to these comments. Let me see. Let me see.
But I do believe that the phrase "birds of a feather fly together" does have some truth to it. A lot of times, not always, but you also have to know where this ain't for me. If Craig and them is going out to the strip club,
but she says she don't want you hanging out with dude. Period. Like this. Oh, we gonna play ball on Saturday morning, and then after Saturday morning, we going to lunch and we gonna have some drinks or whatever. We gonna hang out, watch the game. Like she's like, I don't even want you like doing that. Because I don't know. She's like, I'm uncomfortable. Like these strippers could be at the bar and meet him up there. It could be he knows them personally. Like, do you give him do you give her the listen? I make my choices. He's my homie. That's not going to influence me. Or do you respect what she's saying? Let me just read these comments real quick for me, LaShawn. For me, I know my lane. I'll fall back. Situation has changed. That's not all true. Birds of a feather. I'm one of the exceptions to the rule. Here we go. Kay coming on here. Let me see. Men also like to keep that homegirl around. We are all just friends, females. I agree with this on some levels. Miss Clark said no lies detected. Lady Q said I'm committed to being married. Hashtag bars. Okay. All right. Lady Q has spoken. LaShawn says common sense. Kamara, common sense. Okay. Lady Q said good morning, everybody. Let me see. Yes, it does, Kamari. Birds of a feather does have some truth to it. Oh, Miss Clark said birds of a feather does have some truth to it. Well, damn. All right, I'm a cop, and I still got drug dealer friends. No, I don't. Well, why'd you say it then? Why'd you say it? Why?
He's being sarcastic.
I'm gonna play her a little bit more real quick.
And we were really close. And my husband didn't feel comfortable with that person, am I going to fight till the death and ruin my marriage to protect this person that I'm not married to?
Wow, that's good.
Or am I going to say, look, times have changed, people leave all, love you, friend, but at the end of the day, I'm married now, my husband feels uncomfortable. I don't necessarily agree, but I respect him enough to... You know, if I have to choose between you or my marriage and my husband, clearly I'm choosing my marriage and my husband.
Are those ultimatums healthy? LaShawn has a comment. LaShawn says, you are my mate. I am not your parent. I'm not restricting anything. I'm trusting you to do the right thing. This Clark. If you tell me with whom you walk, I can tell you who you are. Another saying. Well, damn. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard that before. I've heard that. Billy J says all cops got drug dealer friends. LOL. They just lock them up when they have to.
Shots fired.
But I always want to know: is that healthy to go to the why can't I say the words now? Ultimatums. Is that healthy in a relationship to go there where you got to pick me or them?
I think So listen, extremes happen, and I think a wife or a husband is within their rights if either one of them have a friend that's wilding and they are doing things that are not healthy for the relationship to say you can't rock with them no more. But you gotta have concrete evidence.
Hope everything's well. Good morning, M. Shawn. Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, Azini? Good morning. Good morning. No, I don't think it's an ultimatum.
See, this is why me and Jay Black have the best friendship in the world, because we don't hang out. So this
That's only because y'all get locked up together. You don't want to go to jail no more.
I don't want to go to jail no more. That's why we had the best relationship ever. Like we may text each other 4 times in a month. If we text each other 4 times in a month, there must be a real good playoff series going on. Like there must be some real sports. But I'm telling you, this is what keeps our friendship alive. Neither one of us are ever going to be asked to not hang out with each other. Because I'm like, well, when do I hang out with them?
Every morning.
Well, every morning. Now that would be a good thing if they were like, that changes everything.
Y'all's situation's a little bit different. Y'all been rocking for. So I remember when I was interning at the station, 103.9. That was in like 2003 or 4. So y'all been rocking at least 20, 25, maybe 30 years.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so y'all need to talk every day.
I mean, I should probably know where he lives, but that's beside the point. But it does. Listen. That's the greatness. I don't know, women. Are y'all willing to give up a friend for a husband? Are y'all? I always feel like I never want to be like I have been that person, but that's when I was drinking. Can't be hanging out with folks that wild. Who gonna bail you out? Yo, facts on facts. I got a Jay Black getting locked up story. If he lets me tell it, it happened right in front of me. Come on, Coke. Like, what are we doing? We gonna do that while he's not here? What type of friend are you? We can't do that while he's not here. The fact that you even brought it up is disrespectful. You should know.
But he said if he lets me tell it, so he's repping for Jay.
Yeah, but we didn't even know that story existed. He just said, I have a story to tell. If he would let me. Now all of a sudden that's in the universe. Oh,
but listen, Jay's done shared some stuff on here, so you never know. You never know.
Who's Ola? I see Ola. What up, Ola? What's going on? All right. I always get nervous when there's no profile pic. You have to give them up. People hate you anyway. Well, damn, Edie, who hates you anyway? I don't know. I always get antsy when somebody starts giving. I think, am I the only one who gets a little defensive when somebody gives me an ultimatum?
But is it a justified ultimatum? So let's say you got a homeboy. He every time y'all got an event, he brings a different woman. Him and said woman start fighting and carrying it on. They start doing some wildness. And then your wife's like, yo, you got to push that joker to the side. Is she wrong?
Yeah, but what them doing wildness got to do with me?
Because they're bringing it into your space. So it has everything to do with you. You can't run from this, Mike.
No, but I can, because I'm like, once that starts popping off, that's what they doing. I move to the side. I'm like, y'all go.
No, this is your space, though. Let's say it's your house.
Oh, they're not gonna do it at my house.
But they do. But they do.
Well, then they can't come back.
But those are situations like that happen. So, a spouse, man or woman, has the right to do that. If somebody is impacting your peace, your money, your home, you can say, yo, you chose to be with me for worse, not your friend. If you want to be with your friend, then go marry them. And so the clip you played, I don't have all the context. I don't know if it was a man or a woman. I don't know if it was about money. I don't know if it was about relationships. But on its surface, I get what she's saying. You're supposed to pick your spouse over everybody. Be against the world.
Those good sauce. I'm not feeling amazing. Okay, all right. God bless. LaShawn, the husband makes bad choices because why is he making choices to still surround himself around him? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one exactly. If they're impacting your relation, but if they're not, this is just an uncomfortable feeling of you hanging with that person, you being around that person. Like I don't like the ultimatum. When you all right, this is not healthy. Nobody takes my advice anyway, so definitely don't take my advice on this. Nobody takes my advice anyway, so definitely don't take my advice on this. Don't hit me with the when we're talking about something. Don't hit me with this. So you're willing to lose me over this? Nobody brought that up. Because once you say so you're willing to lose me over this, that means I know, and I've said it before, that's your high card in spades. That's your high card. That's your high spade. And I'm not doing that every time we go. So you're willing to lose me over this? Who said I was? No, how do we get here? How do we get to I'm now it's turned into me and you having a dialogue about somebody to I have to lose you over this?
Mike, I'm feeling like this happened to you in real life.
I don't know. I would have to think.
You seem kind of passionate about this.
I don't know if it was like, yeah, I guess it was. This is like a defiant. LaShawn said, wait a second. Wait, hold on. It was crazy when you run into folks you went to high school with and they age. I'd be like, damn, okay, how do we get to that? All right, maybe I shouldn't. All right. I gotta read yours. I was thinking that might lose you. I don't know. I think that's extreme. You're willing to lose me over this? Yeah, I've heard that. So you're willing to lose me over this? What? You're the one who brought. I didn't even have that on the table. I thought we were discussing the fact that you don't want me hanging out with Jay Black because we got arrested once or twice. Like that little overreaction. It was just once. I said if they are, Miss Clark, did she say anything about anyone leaving? Drink more water. All right, Ola just wants to be random shooter. I don't know if that's a bot. She just wants to be. I don't know. Did she say anything about leaving? Let me see. Because
no, this is the husband. The husband put his foot down on whoever said relationship was, because was it a man or was it a woman? Because that also brings another dynamic as well.
Yeah, I think everybody gets touchy when somebody's put in a situation when you're having a conversation and you're discussing something that there's disagreement on. When you bring up the ending of a relationship, you've now put somebody's back against the wall because now you're basically using this as leverage, almost like this is how I take it. Once again, don't take my advice. This is how I take it. You believe I can't live without you? And I know, see, that's where it goes. I go, wait. I didn't even, that wasn't on the table. But do you think me losing you is going to change because I can't survive without, because there's nobody in this world in a relationship that I can't get over. And there it goes. I agree with you on the ultimatum. They are trying to get you to do what they want. Yeah, I don't like being manipulated. Losing a spouse because of friends. Losing a spouse because of friends is a fragrant foul, but it happens. Losing a spouse because of friends. Is this one? People believe they control you. It's a partnership. Communication is key. Some folks just be overprotected sometimes and see that your company is no good for you. All right. That part, when threats arise, I choose you. I don't want to lose you. Okay. All right. No ultimatums. And let me tell you what's dangerous about the ultimatum. Since we are on this ultimatum, since this is spun into ultimatum, let me tell you what's dangerous.
You, for the record, you spun it into ultimatums, right?
I guess I did. I may have spun this. Let me tell you another dangerous thing about ultimatums. When an ultimatum works in their favor, it ain't going to be the last one. It's going to repeat that. If an ultimatum comes and it works, it won't be the last time. That card is getting played again.
Uno reverse. Smack. Collect 4.
Exactly. I hear you, Mike. Making you choose or feel like they're making you choose, and you do it just because you don't really want to lose them. But, and that's another thing. If I choose something, and this is why I have done my best. I'm not saying I've always held to this. I've done my best not to do that to people. Because when you do that to people, another thing, reverse, you said the reverse card. Here's a reverse card. When you give somebody that ultimatum and they agree with you and they fall for it, the pressure of that relationship working is so much greater now, because that person in their back pocket is waiting for that moment in an argument to say, and you telling me I gave so-and-so or this or that up for this shit?
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I do think there's times where you can play the ultimatum card.
When?
We both grew up in the crack era. How many people got strung out on crack? Destroyed families. I know that's extreme, but I saw it. I lived it. And I've seen plenty of people say, it's either me or the drugs. Most people lost to the drugs. But that was their last ditch effort to try to save things. And they were just trying to put it all on the line. So I if it gets that far, you got to examine and say, behavior, are my actions really that destructive? Maybe I'll take my ego out of this and really give it a real objective look if it's gotten to that point.
All I said, if you find a good woman and you know her friends are dead ends, you're going to say something. It's human nature. If they care about you. Yeah, you should be allowed to say something. Yo, oh girl is,
and vice versa.
And they should be allowed to say the same thing. But to say, if you keep hanging with them, this relationship now you have every right to. I'm just telling you, I'm not a fan of it because I don't think anything good really happens. And even with your, I know that was extreme with the crack. Listen, people, can't nobody stop doing drugs because they love you. I'm just letting you know right now.
Yeah, but that's what you want because you see it's tearing the family apart.
Ain't nobody gonna stop doing drugs because they're not doing drugs because they don't love you.
Yeah, but that's the logical answer. Those conversations are emotional in nature, so they're going to be chaotic. So you might get an ultimatum.
But instead of giving that person an ultimatum, you have to give yourself the ultimatum. You're either going to stay. You're either going to stay and fight through this with them, which may end up with an L, or you're going to leave. Stop giving addicts ultimatums because an addict ain't in no shape to even make a decision. But that's the thing. Stop giving people ultimatums. And I think I just said, you're giving them an ultimatum on you stay with them or you're going to lose this relationship. No, give yourself the ultimatum. Will I stay with this person if they're still friends? And if I can't, then you got to make the decision. Don't try and escape somebody else into making a decision that you don't want to make.
Mike, did you just have a breakthrough?
Ooh, I just had a breakthrough live. What?
This was like a therapy session for you.
Do you see what happens when I'm not busy arguing with Jay Black? Do you see when I get time? when I ain't got to defend my point every second? Nah, that was a situation, me or drugs. You just have to be respectful and don't cause drama. Communication is key. Yeah, communication is always key. That is always a good phrase, y'all. I know the term is wonderful. Communication is key. It is. You put it out there and let your mate make their own decisions or let them believe they did. Reverse psychology. LaShawn, why do ovaries always have to play these mind games? Why do ovaries always have to play these ultimatums? Don't work with me. Don't force me. Exactly. Facts. Give yourself the ultimatum. Yeah, to ask yourself, this is what I can deal with. This is what I can't deal with. And deal with the repercussions. And sometimes you may think 5 years back and be like, I made the wrong decision. That's just life. There are good ones and bad ones. Yeah, LaShawn always want to play. Let me read this. LaShawn, I can't even read this without music. This has to be music because this is brainwash manipulation. You put it out there and let your mate make their own decisions, or let them believe they did. Reverse psychology.
Women are the master of that.
I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not.
Girl, shut the up.
And leave us alone, man. No, you do business right now. All right. Let me see what else I got. And thank you, Kamari, for saving the day. LaShawn, Mike. Yeah, don't play LaShawn. You was playing with us. Mind games could be a good couples talk.
Yes, everybody, please like and subscribe to the channel.
Like and subscribe. The music. Yes, I had to play the music because that's when the manipulations hits. Laugh out loud soundbite. No, I don't. Stop playing with me, LaShawn. No, I don't. Let me see what else we got before we break out of here. We got the Tory Lanez. We did the Tory Lanez. Oh, you wasn't on the show when we did this. This is ironic. This is just a funny little tidbit I want to play right now. Look what they putting the ban on right now. Look what Trump
news. The Republican Party has submitted a bill to Congress to ban porn.
That's got to be a lie.
I just want to know which one of your donors has an OnlyFans model for a daughter.
Melania Trump just did a speech on protecting what parts of this bill, which makes sense, that you can't use AI to put other people's faces on sexual situations and stuff like that. But you also, without anybody's consent, can you post or do anything? It was the ban on porn, but also posting. And I get the trick. I know what you're doing.
Well, that was revenge porn. I'm looking at it now.
Everybody gets that. Everybody gets that. This bill is being passed because, in my opinion, at some point there are going to be tapes of Trump, and somebody got him. And this is just a precaution, just in case, that we can start locking people up and saying it's fake and it's fake news. That's just my little opinion on that. MLK, people always save the day. I heard that. Laugh out loud. AI is getting out of hand. No, it's getting out of hand. But, and listen, I said this before, I have no problem with banning porn. Porn is bad, in my opinion. There's no
bad
way.
For who?
It's for mentally is bad. 17-year-olds, young people shouldn't be able to get their hands on it as easy as it is. I had to sneak. Okay, I had to sneak. Can you imagine at 16 or 17 years old having this phone and the access that you have? Of course it should be banned, but it's the reason why you're banning it that gets me every time. And how can a president even have an administration that wants to ban porn? Didn't you get the porn star pregnant? Like, this is just bizarre. This is bizarre to me. Fiction, the porn industry is as big as the education. No, it's huge. On YouTube, it's AI generated songs mimicking artists. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did with campaign finances.
But this is the irony of this whole thing. But do you see how they package it? Of course, I know. Don't nobody want their children being able to have easy access to that. Of course, these sites should have been shut down a long time. While you were worried about shutting down TikTok, you should have been shutting down those sites. That's what that should have been an obvious one. They make laws to protect the rich. Why ban it? It's just another part of society. No, I mean, are we really gonna fight that is not bad for you? That it doesn't put a perception in your head about something that it's unhealthy. That's what I'll say. But my thing, the propaganda behind
soda. So is sugar.
That's you shouldn't drink it. Yeah, you're right. But mentally, soda ain't going.
The food pyramid is a lie. Milk is not good for the body.
It's
a lot of things that aren't good for you.
But me drinking soda isn't gonna affect how I treat somebody else.
Actually, it was. The sugar Yeah, you got the right one, baby.
No,
You got the right one, baby.
No, you're just pivoting. You're just doing.
I'm not pivoting. I'm
you're
staying in a pocket with you.
No, you're comparing a mentality that young boys go out into the world with because of what they see and how it affects society's relationships and how it affects sexual abuse and how it affects sexual assault and how it affects a bunch of things on both sides, on both parties who visualize it to the sugar, which is horrible for you health wise. But health wise.
But you're cherry picking.
No,
You're picking one group. You are. You said young boys. What about older women? What about senior women? There are senior ladies who watch porn.
And
what they want to get their porn fix.
And well, it's the same way 15-year-old can't drive a car. It's the same way they shouldn't be able to watch that.
Wait a minute, a 65-year-old can't watch porn?
No, 16. I said 16.
I know. I said you're cherry picking. No, I said,
no,
what about the older lady?
If that's what you want to find, that's what you want to find. As adults, you have the right to watch that. I'm saying, but these sites should have been banned. And if there was a case where you got kids with cell phones being able to actually get access to this every day.
Yes, just like they can buy a gun at the corner store or get crack at the corner store.
Right, and if they can't, a 14-year-old is not getting access to it the way they're getting access to adult material like that. And we know it's unhealthy because we know what they're presenting in these things are unhealthy. And what happens is it triggers off into society.
Right. But what you're talking about, that's parental rights, right? Because parents aren't doing their jobs with children. They should block their phones. They shouldn't give them easy access or free access.
You don't have to add another thing that a parent has to now try and block when it shouldn't exist. They should.
So parents shouldn't be parents?
No, parents should be parents, but it shouldn't exist. Just like parents should stop their kids from doing drugs, right? They should do their best. But we do know the drug shouldn't be here.
Correct.
Okay.
Let's see how that's worked out. Excuse me. We all have seen how that's worked out.
But my point is, you have the technology to make it very difficult. You don't have to buy any more law enforcement. You don't have to put any more people at the border. We saw that you took down TikTok, the biggest social media platform, like that. Like that.
And it's still here.
And it came back.
It's still here.
Yes.
That's a money play. It's all a money play.
And that's what I'm saying. That
they be playing in our face.
This whole negotiation, we know it. We know we don't want our kids watching it. We know we shouldn't be watching it. But we do. That's your right. But we know we shouldn't.
Yeah, but I don't think we need a law to legislate what children do or don't do. What? That's just like saying we don't want our kids cussing. So we should ban the First Amendment of free speech.
Wait. Do you wear your seatbelt? Do you wear your seatbelt?
Yes, I wear my seatbelt.
Did you put your kids in a car seat?
Yes, but that wasn't always law.
Did you put your and it became law?
But it didn't need to be law.
It absolutely did because kids were dying in the back seat.
It didn't need to be a law.
It absolutely did.
They made it a law because it impacted a large impact to society.
Yes, because people were dying.
But for parents who actually care, they were doing that anyway.
No, because parents didn't know that your kid needed to be in a car seat in the 80s.
What do you mean? There were plenty of studies out. We just had the big bucket seats. Where were they? In tanks.
Exactly where were they getting these studies, Kamar? Where was the average person getting the studies in the 80s and 90s? Where were we going to get these studies at?
The newspapers. They were
really.
Around.
They were putting studies in the newspapers. That's what you want. You want parents to go find studies. Oh, let me see if they have studies in today's newspaper about the car seats. Obviously, they made the car seats. They knew what secondhand smoke was doing. And back when America still had a tad bit of enforcement ongoing, like, you know what, that really does cause cancer. Let's try and stop this shit. Even though the cigarette company sat up there and legendarily lied and said it wasn't addictive. Even though they sat up there and said it was actually healthy for you at one point.
And smoking, it's still not illegal.
As I vape. No, but they made it more difficult for adults. So yes, there are things that you're going to regulate for kids. There are definitely things you have to make laws to protect kids.
So why haven't they made a law to outlaw smoking then? Is there still kids smoking?
They could only make it. They can only make it as difficult as possible, and cigarette sales went down. We can't help people who are going to entirely be like, "F it." Listen, I just vaped, so I know.
We don't know. I don't know what you vaping, Mike.
But if kids can't go into
good stuff.
Kids can't go into a store anymore and buy cigarettes, and cigarette sales are down.
Allegedly.
Because smoking is big business. Cigarettes is $20 a pack. Vaping is supposed to be just a bit. It is, absolutely is. The only difference about vaping is that I can control the percentage of nicotine, allegedly. Now, I do notice a difference when I cut down back on the nicotine, but you're absolutely right. But we're not going to sit up here and say there shouldn't be a law against kids watching porn or having the access. They shouldn't be sites on the internet that are directly going towards young people.
Right,
to
but
watch
again,
porn.
you added kids. The bill was to ban porn overall. I'm talking about the whole widespread thing. You're adding in this one particular part of the market. So treat it just like cigarettes then, because cigarettes is Don, what up? I see you. That's Jimmy, by the way. But porn is still legal. Cigarettes are still legal. Yes, make it more difficult, but we don't need extra
And the majority of people, when you go out, nobody smokes indoors. Nobody smokes in restaurants. Nobody's allowed to smoke inside of venues. Nobody's allowed to smoke inside of venues.
It depends on where you're at.
Come on. You know the majority.
I'm serious.
First of all, you're not even going to take your girl to a restaurant where people can smoke it. So stop.
So listen, there's a bar that I like in my area.
Now who's cherry picking? Now who's cherry picking?
I am cherry picking.
One bar. Now he's cherry picking.
But I'm saying it's still legal. It's still legal in certain spots. Now inside of Philadelphia, yes, it is. It is illegal.
And in Jersey, it is illegal.
Okay. I'm not rich enough to live in Jersey.
So you ain't
taxes are too high.
You're just smart enough to know how to know that you can find a spot in Philly that you're comfortable and you know you don't want these taxes. You're right about that. You don't want these taxes. It's ridiculous. Even if it's a law, just like cigarettes, kids will get. That's for kids drive cars and kill people. That doesn't mean there shouldn't be a law. Y'all don't want to make laws because laws are going to get broken. What sense does that make?
Because then you over-criminalize the thing, but that's all the thing. Do me a favor, put up Don Johnson's comment for me, Mike. You skipped over.
I just had one documentary that won. And hella vaping equals a pack of cigarettes diabolical. They just switched the format for cigarettes and vape dispensary. You're absolutely right. Where was Don? Don.
Two up.
Whoa. 2 up from what?
From where you are right now.
All right. Oh, Don Kamar debating in favor as the crazy times. Yeah. It's what we talking about.
You know what the SW is, right?
No, I don't know. I just say yeah.
SWs are sex workers.
Oh, yeah.
Everything gets classified as sex work now.
It is.
Even prostitution. So porn is considered as sex work.
Wait. Did you say even prostitution, like it shouldn't be thrown in as sex work?
No, it is.
You said even prostitution. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm saying all of that is considered. I'm saying porn is considered sex work. Like they're trying to legitimize all of it. I don't have a problem with any of it. People get to do whatever they want to do. Listen, I'm the guy that I feel they should legalize drugs because they spend way too much time and money on over criminalizing the thing and trying to lock people up. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. It's like laws are like ultimatums, Mike. They're usually not good.
And guess what? Then let's have the purge. Because y'all can talk all that gangster stuff. We drop all the laws. Everybody could have.
I don't want the purge.
Okay, then you want some laws.
Yeah, but I don't want the purge.
Exactly.
Because then who's going to say who gets dropped off in the purge?
Exactly. You want some regulation. You want some laws. What else? They had a document. Okay, got that one. Oh, we good. Time is flowing by. All right. Enjoy, everybody. Have a beautiful day. All right, Legs, you have a beautiful day. Have a good day, Lisa. Let me get these last comments. Yes, hola, lo siento. All right, Coco just wanted to. All he wanted to do was the one Spanish phrase that he knew. He just wanted to hit that. That's all he was.
Wait a minute, what does lo siento mean?
I feel it. I feel you, basically.
I want to learn Spanish too.
I like going to cigar lounges. Do not smoke or never smoke. Why would you go to cigar lounges? Let me tell you about something about cigar lounges. If you don't smoke cigars, listen, people who are into cigars, God bless. That's nothing. I don't want a 12-year-old walking around smoking cigars. But by the way, I wasn't speaking against laws. That is the heaviest odor. Like cigar lounges, and I've chilled, and I was okay when I was drinking at cigar lounges. I'm like, all right, y'all do you. Y'all do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. But that is a heavy ass smell that be in there. Wasn't about parents care. Nobody wore seatbelts in cars back in the day because a car became faster and people more careless. Lots of people started dying in car accidents. Speed limits also increased. We ain't know no better. I sat in the front seat on my mom's lap most of my life. That was my car seat. No law banning libraries, schools, but folks don't read or use their brain. Why? Because they made distractions detour your path to knowledge and wisdom.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
That is a bar, but I hate when we say nobody goes, because obviously there are people who do go, and I know people who do go. And actually, my kids, and I'll give a shout out to my co-parenter. I'll give a shout out to Stace. That was an actual trip that they would make like once a week or every other week, because they still charge you for them library books. That's how I know. Not that I was the one who did the tour. I'm not the one who took them there, but the books were there.
But as a percentage of overall society, I would say not as many people go.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it's easier to get these books now if we wanted them too. Well,
some of the books.
Because I wrote down a bunch of books, Dr. Smith. I gotta make sure I take time to make it. Laws made to control the population. I'm not telling you they're not. Shawn, I can't stand being in the presence of cigar smoke. I love my team. I love my viewers because they have ADHD just like me. She jumped right in. We be arguing like, yo, I hate cigars. I hate cigar smoke. Yeah, Miss Clark, they be having a good vibe. Yeah, they do. They got their own community. Take care. Y'all be safe, health, and time. Most important things in life. Hit like and subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good vibe, I'm sure. Hola, cigars and improper personal hygiene. That'd be great. Woke soap for sale. Okay. All right. Oh, woke soap for sale. All right. God bless. All right. All I said, I added one. She had one more thing to say. She was about to leave. Look, this is her. She was like, take care, y'all. Be safe. Health and time, most important things in life. Hit like and subscribe. That was supposed to be the exit. Then all of a sudden, Ola said, no. One more thing. Cigars and improper personal hygiene. What the I love this shot.
Rancid, putrid.
Rancid.
Dropping the big words, SAT words.
All right. This has been good. Anything you want to talk about? Anything on your mind there? Come on. Anything else on your mind before I break out of here?
There's so many things on my mind, but listen, elections, as I said earlier, we can complain all we want about the system and we can say it's rigged, but until you are fully participating in every sense of the word, you're part of the problem. That's all I got.
Oh, wait a second.
Those would be facts on facts on facts on top of facts.
Kamari ended the show with a bar.
That's all I got. That's all I got, Mike.
Kamari ended with a bar. I want to be immature. I want to be immature.
No, but you know what, Mike? I love your closeout because your closeout is basically saying the same thing. You gotta fight for everything.
You gotta fight for everything.
Yeah, I can't do it no justice the way you do it. I love your clothes, but you gotta fight for everything, even the parking spots.
Look, I'm gonna be definitely immature. Right? I'm just gonna play this clip real quick. Look at this clip, y'all. I just want to show y'all for no reason.
You see how we do it here on the Saturday. This is with us, Mr. Dr. B.
Oh, you put that thing on the woo!
So you see how we do it here on the Saturday. This is with us, Mr. Dr.
On the woo!
So you see how we do it here on the Saturday. This is with us, Mr. Dr. B.
Is that supposed to be an Illuminati symbol?
Just want to be immature.
Oh boy.
I remember when Jay-Z said, lawyers said him and Diddy weren't really friends. They just weren't around in the same circles. Yeah. All right. Ain't my fight, y'all. Yeah. Stop worshiping these celebrities. Because I tell you what, I use them for what I use them for. Look, Jalen Brunson, my man Hart, Mitchell Robinson, my man Cat, the whole Nick team. I'm just using y'all for my escape. I think tomorrow we start the series. Just using you for my little escape, my little personal escape. All right, we out of here. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Oh, Kamari, I have to call you tonight. I'm gonna say this now because I gotta go once we get off. Me, Dr. Smith, and Jay Black are having a phone call today at 7. We're gonna be on this link. Talking about the show. Are you busy? Can you make it?
My mother-in-law's birthday is today. We're taking her out to dinner. If I'm around,
don't you mess that up.
If I'm around, I will be there.
All right, and then we can. I guess tonight's not a good night because you're gonna be out to dinner tomorrow.
Shawn, I don't think I'm filling in. I could never fill Jay Black's shoes. I'm glad you guys were able to tolerate me for this.
No, you were dope. You're dope. Stop, Jay Black. Come on, Jay Black's annoying. He knows he's annoying. He just gets everybody spinning. So tomorrow, can we get on a link so you can walk me through the portal to get my taxes done?
Yeah, we can do that. That's a phone call. Whenever. Yeah.
All right, let's make that happen. All right, y'all. Kamari has done his damnedest. Listen, nobody is angry. I don't think we got banned on YouTube. I don't think we did anything that ended text relationships because Kamari is a good dude. Unlike Jay Black. I'm playing. He's my best friend. All right. Let me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. You fight for parking spots. You fight for sales. You fight for getting the passcode to your significant other's cell phone and email and Instagram. You sneak through their Instagram. You fight for everything. Fight for your happiness. Never let anyone or anything or any circumstance take it from you, because God got you. Sexy Mo, Jay Black, Lady Q, Woke Up Inspired, Aaron Smith, I call him Fearless, Dr. Aaron Smith, Amani on Wednesdays, Kamari on Thursdays. Join the show. That is the Takeover Legends. Like and subscribe. We are gone. Gone.
It's about to go down.
Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts,